Hello YouTube. So the struggle continues on the travel ban. We're seeing a lot of outrage and a lot of pushback on social media in support of Trump. And that's kind of the group I'm in, so that's what I see. People supported him. This was what he ran on, and they're so proud that he's keeping up his end of the deal. He made 6 or 7 promises, and he's doing every one of them, and they're so proud of him. And I can understand that the left, if it would have been Obama, they would have been very proud of him, or if Hillary would have won. But unfortunately, Obama or George W. Bush or any other president we've had probably in the last 100 years since Abraham Lincoln didn't keep many of their promises. It just wasn't something that happens very often. But we're so proud that Trump keeps his promises, that he's working so hard even though he's getting viciously attacked, and that George Soros is paying billions of dollars of his own money to fund these protest groups. And I believe that only probably maybe 1 in 10 at the most of these protesters are actually spontaneous protesters that have showed up there in solidarity to protest. Almost all of them has, I saw a couple guys on YouTube where someone interviewed them. They wouldn't give their names a month ago, and they said we've been on payroll for, one of them was 3 months and one was 6 months protesting. That's it. And these people have been on call. When they get the call, they all go and protest. This has been planned out. It's been decided that the first big thing Trump does, they were waiting for something big, they're going to go protest. And it's so unrealistic because, and this has been said over and over, and I hate to repeat myself, or not myself, but everyone else. Obama banned Iraqis for 6 months. No one said a peep. Jimmy Carter, liberal, a real liberal Democrat, banned people from Iran. It's happened over in World War II and World War I. It's happened over and over, different presidents, and now all of a sudden it's unconstitutional. So you're telling me that it's unconstitutional now, but all these times it wasn't? If everyone remembers right, Abraham Lincoln suspended habeas corpus and arrested 19 Maryland Congress people to stop them from seceding from the Union illegally. It was illegal. It was against the Constitution. But you know what Lincoln said? He said, more criminals find haven under habeas corpus than honest people do. So he saw that it was necessary to do something, and he did it. And sometimes a president has to do that. If it's damaging to the country, to his own country and his own people, if it's violating their rights when he does it, then it has to be very careful when he does. I'm very hesitant to allow him to do that. I would be very upset. But if you're telling me that it's taking the rights of foreigners away, who have no rights in this country, who we owe nothing to, then that's foolishness. Because he owes his allegiance to our people, our country, not a foreign country. And any foreign country that gets a penny from the United States does it only because of the kindness of our heart. We owe them nothing. And we don't owe anybody anything. But that doesn't mean that I don't support charity. I do. I believe that we should help people when we can. I think the best thing the U.S. could do is what Trump's working on right now, and that's to create safe zones in the Middle East with the support of Russia and Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia will help pay for it. And we create safe zones, and we put people in these cities. And we build temporary housing, whatever it takes. And our dollars will go much, much further. It's much cheaper to do it there than here. If we brought them here, it would cost us, $2,000 a person or whatever. We take it there, we could do it for $10 a person. That's just an analysis. But it's so much cheaper to do it there. And we can't help them all. There's between 60 and 100 million people trying to get to the United States right now. That's a third of our population. If we took them all in and they were all on welfare, or most of them, we couldn't do it. We don't have the housing. So which ones are we going to take in and which ones aren't we? If you're telling us that we owe refugees something, then which ones are we going to take? And immigrants. Who's going to decide? Are you going to be the one that stands up there and says, this one, nope, this one, no? You can't bring them all. It's not physically possible. So that's a foolish argument. Do we want to help a few? Yes, we want to help a few. We want to be careful. We want to maintain our sovereignty where we have the right to decide who comes and don't come. And I believe that 80% of Americans support, I believe 70% support Trump's decision. And another 15% of those are kind of borderline. Only 10 to 15% oppose it. And almost all of the protesters don't even know what they're protesting. They're getting paid good money, and so they're yelling and screaming and being violent because that's what they're paid to do. But overall, we need to bring peace. Right now, everyone's at the verge of war. I mean, there's people that are willing to go to war right now here in the U.S. Sometimes I get angry and I feel like I want to go to war right now, but I know that doesn't solve the problem. We have to be able to have a conversation. And I think a lot of the people on the left, modern day professionals you could have a conversation with, these protesters, they're the low IQ, most of them, or college kids from rich families that have never thought for themselves. You can't have a conversation with them. Zero. And the reason we know we can't is because I've watched hundreds of videos in protests where people tried to have a conversation with them and they wouldn't allow it. They just got angry and said F you and wanted to fight. So there's no future in that kind of behavior. If we're going to just do that, we might as well go to war. But hopefully don't come into that. I am so proud. We're so lucky to have a guy like Donald Trump. He's unbelievable. The man has got providence on his side. Every time he gets attacked, it gets turned against him. It never works. They think this time we got him. Never works. Makes me happy. We've fought so long for this and so hard. All the stuff the left has gained from Obama, they never fought as hard as we did. We fought our asses off. Some of us had a Facebook with 25 followers or a Twitter with 100, and we hammered every day. We were on Facebook, on Twitter, talking. Every one of us, it's us Americans. Like Alex says on InfoWars, he says, you are the resistance. We're part of a team. And that's the difference between our team and the left. The left has some protesters that don't know anything paid. They're hirelings. And like during the Civil War, the Southern soldiers used to say, one good rebel can take on 20 hirelings, Yankee hirelings. That's the way we are. And they've got the media, which no one believes. A bunch of paid globalist shills. So we're very lucky to be at this point of our life. I think we're going to see a great turnaround in America. We need to get over this thing about this immigration deal. We need to, eventually we're going to have to stop all immigration. Hopefully we can help as many people as we can. But at some point the United States is not going to be able to take any more people. It's inevitable. And I would be very glad to anyone to comment below if they see a way that we can keep on doing what we're doing and keep taking people. If someone would have a good suggestion on that, I don't see what it would be, because you can't just keep on and on taking in millions of people. We're taking 1 million people a year now, and those people have children, and what are we going to do, starve our own? If we become poor, we can't help them. And it is a danger to take too many people too fast from third world countries, because they're poor. They can't help us support our economy right away. They're going to take entry-level jobs. A few that are educated will take better jobs, but every time they take a better job, it knocks an American out. So they're not going to help the economy. They're going to hurt the economy at first. Let's say we integrate them properly, and in 10 years they'll help the economy. Well, that means we can take so many. But we can't take too many. And honestly, I think personally, I think it'd be good if we took no immigration except for asylum. except for safety reasons. No immigration except for asylum. And have to be a clear example of asylum. That they needed protection for the next, I would say, 5 years. Or at least 4 years we take no people. Except for people in danger for their lives. But that's about all. See you soon.